Welcome to Miles Morgan and Holland America Line's Zoom event this morning. As you can tell, I'm not Miles. I'm standing in for him today because things are hotting up in the travel industry. It's been a great welcome back to the high street for us. In the last 48 hours, we've received many of these from our lovely customers. So we're enjoying being back on the high street and still continuing our Zoom events this morning. Welcome to those of you that have joined us, and thank you for giving us your time. I'm just going to introduce Danny Scaniella from Holland America Line, who is our business development manager for the product. She's going to give you the lowdown on what Holland America can offer, and we're focusing on the beautiful destination of Alaska. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to you, Danny, if you want to take over the screen.
Thank you, Margaret, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. It's dedicated to Holland America Line's Alaska product. So I just wanted to firstly thank Margaret and the whole team at Miles Morgan for making this event possible this morning. So let's start now. Everybody okay with seeing my screen? Thumbs up? There we go. So just to introduce myself and give you a bit of background on myself, I'm, as Margaret says, I'm Danny Scaniella. I'm the Business Development Manager for Holland America Line. I've actually been with the brand for over 10 years now, so I've really seen Holland America Line evolve as a brand and a product with the experiences that we offer to our guests. Obviously, during my time with Holland America Line, I've been lucky enough to travel and have some amazing experiences in those places that I've sailed to with Holland America Line. We sail to all 7 continents, so there's plenty of options and choice for guests to choose from. I've sailed aboard many of our ships, both in the Mediterranean, Alaska. I've been to Alaska twice, and it is an absolutely amazing product. You can see I've actually included some of my photos there of Alaska at Hubbard Glacier, down in Juneau, and also at Mendenhall Glacier there as well. So, I've had the experience. It's not just Alaska that I've been to in the Med. I've sailed the Caribbean, I've been to Asia. But let me tell you, there are quite a few other destinations on my list to cover over the next few years, and I'll certainly be doing it again with Holland America Line. So sit back and relax as I take you through the brief insight into Holland America Line and our Alaska cruise experience. So firstly, the cruise line, which is dedicated to explorers, foodies, and music lovers who want to pursue these passions on all the 7 seas and continents. So it's all about spacious, elegant ships. You will always identify a Holland America Line ship. We have those navy blue hulls. So if you're ever around the world and you see one of our ships, you'll be able to identify it. So we have 5 pillars of excellence that we call them. One being the mid-size elegant ships, and we actually call them perfectly sized because they're large enough to offer a range of dining, entertainment, and enrichment, but yet small enough to feature those intimate lounges and personalized service that Holland America Line is known for. And talking about service, it's gracious, award-winning, it's friendly, yet unintrusive service, which is provided by our academy-trained staff. All of our staff are academy-trained, and they do not set foot on board one of our ships until they actually attend the academy. We have some incredible dining options as well on board, which I'll take you through a bit later on. We have enrichment activities and enrichment programs that we offer to our guests, and this is where our guests can learn and engage with the destination that we're taking them to whilst they're on holiday with us. And of course, our worldwide destinations. I said we sail to all 7 continents. We have itineraries anything from 3 to 100 night itineraries, which is the world cruise. So Holland America Line experience is designed for the discerning traveller. So a lot of our guests are well travelled, and they do a lot of Somebody joined. Is that okay? Is it better? I think we need muting. Perfect. So as I said, Holland America Line is a premium cruise line for today's discerning traveller. Our guests are well travelled and they do a lot of research into the destinations that they want to sail with Holland America Line. So just to touch on the fleet that we have currently. So we currently have 10 ships in our fleet. And we have the third Pinnacle class ship, which is the Rotterdam, which joins the fleet in the summer of 21. So she will be joining in August this year. So that will make our Pinnacle class fleet in total of a number of 3. Then we have our signature class, which are the Eurodam and New Amsterdam, which just carry just over 2,000 guests. Followed by the slightly smaller Vista class ships, so Zuiderdam, Oosterdam, Westerdam, and Noordam. Now, these 4 ships carry just between 1,700 and 1,900 guests. And then we have our 2 smaller ships, which carry 1,400 guests, which are the Volendam and Zaandam. And these are perfect for visiting those destinations that the larger ships can't go into. So talking about the style of Holland America Line, we say it's classic style with enriching journeys. So, it's when we talk about classics, about heritage. Holland America Line has been sailing since 1873 as a cruise line. So we are very proud of our Dutch heritage. It's all about timeless, classic, but elegance. When guests are sailing with Holland America Line, but then in those enriching journeys, when it's about those meaningful, making the guests feel joyous when they're sailing with us and experiencing these new adventures with us, and also experiencing the cultures around the destinations and areas that we're taking them to around the world. So it is very much a classic style, but with enriching journeys. When it comes to our itineraries are carefully assembled with our guests in mind. It's all about experience, culture, seeing the destination, being able to feel the destination whilst guests are on board as well, when we have our regional cuisine evenings on board as well, because we want to make sure that our guests have the full aspect of the destination that we're sailing them to whilst on board with us as well. When it comes down to the music selection, when it comes down to the food, as I said, we'll bring the regional menus on board. When it comes to culture, and especially in Alaska, when we have, we'll have the park rangers on board in Alaska, and they will teach our guests all about the Alaska destination and also the wildlife that guests will be able to see when sailing with us. So we move on to Alaska now. So when it comes to Alaska, well, Holland America Line, we say we are Alaska. We are experts in this destination. Holland America Line has been showing guests Alaska since 1947. So this year we actually celebrate our 75th year of taking guests to Alaska. So we have a great infrastructure when it comes to our land journeys as well. So it's not just about the cruising, we offer the land journeys as well, which I will tell you about a bit later on. So in 2022, we will have 6 ships. So 6 out of those 11 ships will be dedicated to the Alaska product. And Holland America Line offers convenient cruise options from multiple embarkation ports, including Seattle, Vancouver, Whittier, and Anchorage. And many of those are on weekend departures as well. So it gives our guests more flexibility when it comes to destinations and going out, whether they want to go out and see a destination beforehand and doing a couple of nights, say, in Seattle or in Vancouver. So we have that flexibility. So just to give you a little insight into Alaska, I'm going to just show you a very short video.
There's something cleansing about being in nature, being in a place that is on such a massive scale. There's a reset button.
Alaska has a rich history. People came here from all over the world. That sense of adventure, not knowing really what they were going to find.
My favorite part is seeing it through the guests' eyes, watching them just light up.
It gets you excited again. It makes you realize, oh, hey, this is why I'm doing this.
It's our modern day gold rush. Being with with Holland America Line creates this connection with my guests.
They really are experts in travel.
You feel like you're a part of Alaska. It's just a different feeling than anywhere else. By land,
By sea, by experts.
we are Alaska.
Just watching that just brings back goosebumps and memories of my time in Alaska. So as I said, 6 ships in Alaska for 2022, more itinerary options with Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve as well. We offer the ultimate Alaska cruise experience, the best of Alaska's glaciers and ports, plus premium ships and programming for Alaska exploration. It's all about those experiences of, as I said, we have more permits to access Glacier Bay National Park than any other cruise line. And this is due down to the experience that we have and obviously the time that we have spent taking guests to Alaska over the last 75 years. So that also means that guests will have lots of cruise options to choose from that include Glacier Bay. And with the 6 ships in Alaska, we have most ships in Alaska than any other cruise line. So we have lots of itineraries and options and choice for our guests. So up close encounters while sailing with us, just up on deck, we have the National Park Service Rangers sailing on board with us. And these are part of the experts that come back and talk to our guests about the glaciologies, about the marine biology there, the wildlife, the bird life, the sea life, everything to do with Alaska. Our park national rangers are on hand to speak to our guests about, and they actually help with the sightings offside of the deck as well. So if there are any whales breaching, the park rangers will obviously make all of our guests aware where they should be looking and where they should be ready with their cameras. We explore Glacier Bay with the National Park Rangers, and also we have the Huna Totem members as well that come on board and talk about their experience and their life, in that region as well. We have an enhanced experience in all of the ports with our EXC tours, and these are our shore excursions that we offer in Alaska. So when it comes to Glacier Bay National Park itself, as I said, more options for viewing there. Every Alaska cruise includes one or more glaciers. So whether it be Hubbard Glacier, the Twin Sawyer Glaciers of Tracy Arm, College Fjord Glaciers, or Glacier Bay National Park. So guests will never be disappointed and say, I went to Alaska and didn't see a glacier, because all of our sailings and itineraries will feature sightings and sailings through glaciers as well. And also the greatest thing about us is that we have that beautiful wraparound deck, which is the best that offers the glacier viewings points as well. So just to home in on a particular ship going into Alaska for 2022, and we're so excited to announce that the Pinnacle class ship, the beautiful Koningsdam, will be the first Pinnacle class ship to be sailing in Alaska in 2022, sailing round trip Vancouver's as well, and she will be replacing the New Amsterdam. So we will have Pinnacle class ships, we will have Signature class ships, and also Vista class ships in Alaska. And these 3 class of ships are all perfect for the Alaska destination because of the size of them, the wraparound decks that we have, and also we have more balcony staterooms on these 3 ships. So, for Alaska, if someone says to me, what's the best stateroom category to be in Alaska, I will always say a veranda, because the greatest thing is to wake up in the morning, open those curtains and step out onto your balcony and just see the wonders of Alaska there for the first, just even over just an orange juice or a cup of coffee, just as you're waking up. But with the Koningsdam itself, here you can see the number of verandas that we have are so much more. So 1,328 verandas on board, and then obviously we go up on the suite categories as well, and we've got plenty there as well. When it comes to the stateroom amenities, so complimentary 24-hour in-room dining, daily housekeeping, nightly turn-down service. We have generous storage. So obviously for Alaska, you have to pack in layers for the weather. So we have generous storage space there for all of our guests. Guests are welcomed into their stateroom with a complimentary fresh fruit basket. We have safe for your valuables. So obviously at the night time, if you want to lock your cameras and video cameras away, you'll be able to do that safely within your stateroom. The bathrooms, the amenities in the bathrooms, we have Elemis Aroma Pure bath amenities. And then we also have obviously the little touches of luxury with the deluxe bathrobes and slippers for guests to snuggle into after, after a hot, relaxing bath, after a day out looking into the adventures of Alaska. If you upgrade to Neptune or Pinnacle suites, obviously those suites have a little bit more when it comes to offering. And also those two suites have a Neptune lounge, which is a dedicated lounge that guests can relax into and enjoy an afternoon tea or even their breakfast in the Neptune lounge. And they'll have a fleet-wide lounges that provide work tables, large TV screens. We have library in there as well for guests to be able to browse our library and select books. And then refreshments throughout the day are offered in this 24-hour Neptune lounge, which is available to suite guests. Talking about dining on board, so we have our buffet style menu restaurant, which is the Lido Market. So this is open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. On pool deck, we have our dive-in, which is, I can just only describe as the best burgers at sea. So you'll always find me up on deck at lunchtime enjoying a diving burger. We offer the 24-hour complimentary room service. And then we also have our Canaletto, which is our Italian restaurant, which is kind of more of a sharing plate restaurant as well. Pinnacle Grill is our steak and seafood restaurant. Again, this is a specialty restaurant, so there is a fee attached to Pinnacle Grill. And then also on the Koningsdown, we introduced a new restaurant, which is called Rudy Sel de Mer. And this is a brasserie-style restaurant, which is dedicated to seafood. Just extra dining venues on Koningsdam as well is Tamarind, and this is our Pan-Asian cuisine restaurant, which is a specialty restaurant. And at lunchtime, we offer a complimentary dim sum menu as well. So in the evening is its specialty restaurant. At lunchtime, it's complimentary dim sum. We also have our New York Deli and Pizza restaurant, which again is on deck, pool deck. The guests can enjoy at lunchtime. And then we have our Grand Dutch Cafe and our Gelato, which is our ice cream parlor as well. And these are the two little extra venues that we have on board Koningsdam for light snacks whilst on board and sailing with us. When it comes to entertainment on board, Holland America Line, as I said at the very beginning, where it's very much for music lovers. We have music, so anything from music to art through to high-tech entertainment and digital tips to amazing discoveries of the natural world. We have an association with BBC Earth, and we offer BBC Earth experiences. And the greatest thing about Alaska is we have the BBC Earth exclusive concert. So we have the BBC Earth Alaska video footage, and it's actually played by our musicians on the Grand World stage, and is an absolutely amazing performance for our guests. So day and night are filled with lively, soul-stirring music by our all-star cast of musicians. There's music for every taste. We have Lincoln Center Stage for classical music. We have BB King's Blues Club. We have Billboard on board, as well as the Rolling Stones Rock Room as well. So there is a real sense of different types of music for different tastes, and these different eras of music are played throughout the evening, so guests can move around from venue to venue and enjoy all types of music while sailing with us. So I talked about the Alaska in concert. This is with the footage from the TV series of BBC Earth Wild Alaska, and the audiences will enjoy the Alaska seasons and all through the music that's composed by Timo and performed by our Lincoln Center stage performers through the classical music. So just to take you through the most iconic itineraries that we have for Alaska, this would be the 7-day inside passage. And just to give you an idea of the itinerary, so day one, so this is concentrating on a July 22 sailing that we have. So it's a round trip Vancouver sailing. So day one, guests will embark in Vancouver and set sail at 4:30. Day two is dedicated to cruising the inside passage. So the inside passage is a protected network of waterways. And it literally winds through glacier-capped fjords and lush rainforests as well. So guests can really immerse themselves into that inside passage experience. So day three, guests can enjoy Juneau. Juneau may well be the most remote, most beautiful and strangest state capital in the United States. It's surrounded by water, forest and mountain sites as well. So Juneau was one of my preferred destinations, and guests, if you like the outdoors as well, you can take a hike on a glacier in Juneau. You can go to the bird sanctuary. There's so much to see in Juneau. Day four is in Skagway, a very colourful history for Skagway, with very colourful buildings that guests can see and enjoy. Then from day five, we go into Glacier Bay, and this is where guests can really, when we say that up close encounter, this is where guests can enjoy that in Glacier Bay, and literally hearing those, the crackling of the ice and the carving of the ice and those glaciers falling is an absolutely spectacular experience. And to get that on video camera is absolutely amazing. Then day six, we head into Ketchikan. So Alaska's first city of Ketchikan. So this is also where they have the, my mind's gone blank. The Saxon Village as well. So you'll be able to access the Saxon Village from Ketchikan. You can go and visit some totem poles here as well. So there's actually quite a lot to see in Ketchikan Creek. Day seven, we're going back down through into the inside passage. So again, guests will be able to admire all those stunning landscapes as well. And from the misty fjords of the national monuments of Glacier Bay, and also the preserve there. And again, this is where guests are most likely to see the wildlife. So the humpback whales, the orcas that play in the waters along, you'll see the bald eagles flying overhead, as well as the brown bears lumbering along the shoreline. So, these are the areas where all of the wildlife is for viewing. And then day seven, back into Vancouver at 7 a.m. And this is where you can then enjoy either a day in Vancouver or obviously set your sights for traveling home or exploring Canada in another destination. So for us, with working with Miles Morgan, they'll be able to put together a fantastic itinerary for you, which will include Canada, and which will include also the Rocky Mountaineer, so you can actually travel on the Rocky Mountaineer and see the Canadian Rockies. So whatever you want to see in Alaska and Canada, Miles Morgan will be able to put together the package for you. So when we talk about the land and sea journeys that we offer, now if you've got more time to see the land part, which we call the Great Land of Denali, why not look into a land and sea journey as well? So we offer 9 different land and sea journeys that combine the fabulous cruise with a journey into the heart of Alaska. And these itineraries give you options of staying either 1, 2, or 3 nights in Denali National Park. We have our very own McKinley Chalet Resort, which is just set at the foot of the park. And we have Denali Square, and this is where we invite guests to be able to talk to our guests with us and talk to them about the Denali experience as well. So looking at an option for Denali. So every Denali holiday will include the 7-night cruise, full-day scenic cruising in Glacier Bay National Park, all transportation by luxury motor coach, rail and cruise ship, international flights to and from the UK. We have premier accommodation in our own chalet, which is the McKinley Chalet Resorts. And we also offer those hotels in Anchorage and Fairbanks on a room-only basis. But we also offer the comprehensive Tundra Wilderness Tour as well in the heart of Denali National Park. Whilst traveling on a land and sea journey, you also get to experience the McKinley Explorer, which is our luxury dome railed cars as well. So travel by train between Anchorage and Denali National Park, and guests will, it's our own version of the Rocky Mountaineer, I would say, but in Alaska. So it's that dome cart, so it gives you perfect viewing options as well. And we then provide a sumptuous lunch for our guests to enjoy whilst with us. As well as Denali, we offer the Yukon. Now, Holland America Line is the only cruise line that offers the Yukon territory, and this is more famous for the gold rush era as well. So we'll take guests into Whitehorse, into Dawson City, and guests can go gold mining as well. So if you're lucky enough to find some gold, you can say you did that whilst traveling with Holland America Line. So that's it for Alaska. But I just wanted to also mention the other destinations that we offer, because I did say we sail to all 7 continents. So Europe, Caribbean, Asia Orient, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, New England, Hawaii and Mexico, Panama Canal with South America and Antarctica, and then also the grand voyages as well. But just to give you also an update on our current campaign. So we have our View and Veranda campaign at the moment, which is running right through to April 19th. So any guests booking before then will also enjoy stateroom upgrades, a signature beverage package included, 1 night free specialty dining, 10% off shore excursions, and also 50% reduced deposit. If guests are booking on a European cruise, we'll also include a free air in that as well. Now, those are for any sailings booked to sail up until April 2022. Further on from that, we then have our Save Now Cruise Later. So these are for sailings April 22 right through to April 2023, which we also have on sale. And we are offering free drinks package, free gratuities, free dining package as well as free Wi-Fi for suites and 50% reduced deposit. Now, I know now is, there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to making a booking, but we have our Book with Confidence, which has now been extended until the 31st of May 2021. And this is basically any cruise booked. Guests can actually cancel 30 days prior and receive a full future cruise credit, which is valid for 12 months. And guests can then rebook and sail by the 31st of December 2022. So there is there's still a long way ahead that guests can book for. So that's our Book with Confidence, available again for all bookings made by the 31st of May. And that's it. I think I did that in your 30 minutes, Margaret.
You did indeed. Thank you, Danny. That was very thorough. I'd just like to add to what Danny has said that obviously booking your cruise through Mars Morgan travel before the 24th of April, you will qualify for a free case of wine. Don't get too excited because we wouldn't send it to you till after you paid your balance, of course. And, obviously we're still traveling. So you do qualify for that. So ask your branches or your personal travel agents, which I'm sure you've got. in each of the branches about the case of wine offer. I haven't got any questions submitted into chat, but I have got some questions that, if it's possible, Danny, I could put to you.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Somebody has asked me in the past, what's the best time of year to travel to Alaska?
Oh, gosh.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, we sail, our Alaska season is May through to September. So we cover spring, summer, and early autumn. It really does depend on, what you want to see, and the temperatures do vary as well. If you're one like me that feels the cold, I opted for a summer, which was obviously, it was still a little bit crisp, but it's kind of, let me share with you, if you just give me a moment, I'm going to share something.
Lots of questions coming into the chat now as well.
Oh, now they're coming in.
Yeah.
So here's spring. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So spring temperatures will be a little bit lower in early May to late June. It kind of is a little bit unpredictable, but you'll see the blooming flowers there, the bears are rousing there from their slumber. So, it depends on really what you want to see. So obviously you can see there's the northern solitude there. Spring is the time for guests that want to see that kind of change. The summertime is the peak season for tourism there. So running from late June to mid-August. And that's where I said earlier, it's the warmest temperatures there, and there's more daylight as well. Yeah. It really does depend on what you want to see. And then also again in the fall, which is the autumn, which is end of August to September, weather is like spring. So it goes back to what it was like in May time. But then you'll have, obviously here, this time of year, you'll have more chance of seeing the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. So, but again, the days will be shorter, so less daylight. So it really does depend on, but for wildlife viewing, spring is like when everything wakes up, let's say, and things come out and you'll see all of the early little bears coming out. But yeah, personally, I think that summer period is the best time.
Okay. Yeah. We've got some questions. I don't know if you can see them in the chat. Danny, would you like me to read them out?
I can't see chat.
Okay, that's okay. Ken and Rosemary have asked, we do not need disabled cabins, but can mobility scooters be used on board and accommodated?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we have ramps and wider corridors. So that, yeah, absolutely not a problem.
Lovely, that's good to know. There's a question from Adrienne. We have already booked, and will we get the offers? We have also paid. Now, I'm not sure if you can address that one, Danny, because it may depend on individual circumstances, booking.
Yeah.
Adrienne, what I would recommend that you do is contact your branch where you've booked it, and they can investigate that bit further for you, not knowing the details of when you booked, what type of thing what offer you already got.
Yeah.
Because often they're either not retrospective or not combinable, but they'll certainly find out for you. Mm-hmm. Is that okay? And then we've got another question. What is the ratio of guests to staff, please?
2 to 1.
2 to 1. So 2 guests to every one.
Yeah.
Remember, thank you. So although you have the guides telling you about the area, is there also space to be quiet and soak up the atmosphere and solitude?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the guides will always you'll always find the guides predominantly at the front of the bow of the ship on that wraparound there. But you've got the back deck open, you've got the sides all open that, you can enjoy without having to listen to, obviously, the experts telling you where to look. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Lots of deck space. That's what's great about them. Having that wraparound deck, there's a lot of deck space.
And the higher up you go, it's the idyllic view, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
How can we see what the cabins are actually like, please, is the next question.
So we do have, unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have printed brochures, but we do have some e-brochures that I can send through to Margaret and that, you can share. Alternatively, on our website, we have a full listing of all of if you select a sailing that you want to do, you can then go and look at, we display all the stateroom categories and what they look like. So everything is there, and it gives you also the schematic of the configuration of the staterooms as well.
Lovely, thank you, Danny, and thanks to Ken and Rosemary for those very good questions. I've got two more to ask you. I've been asked to find out the charges for any extra dining options, any specialty dining. Can you give us a rough idea of that, please?
Yes. So Canaletto, which is the Italian sharing, is $15 per person.
Thank you.
It's all dollars on board.
Yeah.
The Pinnacle Grill, which is our steak and seafood restaurant, is $39 per person.
Mm-hmm.
And Tamarind, which is the Pan-Asian restaurant, is $29 per person.
Lovely, that's great.
And with Rudy, specifically on the Koningsdam, the Rudy Sel de Mer, which is another specialty restaurant, doesn't have a total charge because it's actually an a la carte menu.
Okay.
So it's a menu as you would find in a restaurant in town.
Ken and Rosemary asking, can you look at the staterooms without going into your booking?
Yes.
Yes, you can. So you
can go into
generally on the website.
Yeah. So if you go into the website and if you click on, shall I quickly show you? Have we got 2 minutes?
Yeah, I've got the time if the customers have.
Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, so I will stop share screening and I'll find something else.
Okay, it says you're viewing Danny's screen.
Okay, so let me just go back. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yeah, I can see it. I can see it
now. So this is the homepage for Holland America Line. So if you click on the experience and then click on suites and staterooms.
Yeah.
And then if you click on, we go back down here, scroll to the bottom, you can click on each category and it will show you the different types of staterooms that we have. So whether it be a Vista Suite, which is Vista Suite or Vista our aft view, then down to a veranda suite, which is our lead-in balcony suite. And then we have our ocean views and insights. So everything is there available that you can go in, and we have a family ocean view as well on the Koningsdam. So that's where you can view all of the staterooms available.
That's lovely. I hope that answers your question, Ken. I've got one more there. Do you have a dress code for dining or on board?
So it's elegantly casual. We do it. So if we're talking Alaska, obviously if you're looking at the destination and the way you need to pack to go to Alaska, all in layers, and we understand that. So it's very much elegantly casual. We do still have on that 7-night cruise a formal evening, but it doesn't have to be a DJ and tie. It can be just lounge suit and tie. But we will always have one gala evening, let's say, on a 7-night cruise.
Thank you.
And no shorts in the dining room after 6 o'clock.
I'll remember that. Thank you. Does anybody else have any further questions? No? Well, I hope you found it very informative. I know, even been in this business a long time, even I learn something from these every time. So that's really good news. So Danny, I'd just like to thank you for your wonderful presentation this morning. And
thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you. And especially to everyone that's attended today. We really appreciate you giving us your time and attention. So if there's any further questions that you may think of afterwards, this presentation is being recorded and will be on YouTube. We'll send out links to everybody that was registered on the guest list. But otherwise, ask your nearest branch or phone us up or phone me up here in Wales. So it's been lovely to meet you. And again, thank you, Danny. And I wish you a great rest of the week. And welcome back to the High Street. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Amanda, as well. Oh, great.